Hi, my name is Douglas Williams. I'm the chef and owner of Meat, a restaurant in Boston. Here today to show you how to cook a turkey breast. We're having smaller gatherings for the holiday season this year. So I wanted to just show you how to cook for about anywhere from 2 to 4 people and how to baste it the entire way. Pop it in the oven for a slight amount of time, but then you end up with this really luscious turkey breast that's full of juice and full of flavor. I'm going to be using a few D'Artagnan products. I have some white truffle butter that I'm going to finish the turkey breast in, and I'm going to have some duck fat that's also a D'Artagnan product that I'm going to cook the entire time in with the assistance of butter. With the turkey breast, this D'Artagnan turkey breast is all vegetable fed, all natural, just a really phenomenal product with tons of flavor, much unlike the commercial turkey breast or turkeys in the country. D'Artagnan really does a phenomenal job, and that's why we use it so much. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get to the stove and I'll show you how to roast it. So a lot of people like to brine their turkey beforehand, which is totally fine. I think I actually encourage that. For this, I just wanted to show you the seasoning and the amount that you'll actually need for such a large size piece of meat. But I just use cracked pepper and kosher salt. Obviously, brining is a very effective way to season a turkey or large pieces of meat. But for right now, I'm just going to show you a simple way to just approach this. Pretty liberal. You don't want to over season per se, but this is a big piece of meat, and you want to make sure you season accordingly. You know, at this point, if there is any, ethnic spice or something you want to add that's in your kind of creative purview, this is now the time. So let's go ahead and start this process. I always like to start the fat in a cold pan. So let's go ahead and turn this on high. Okay, high as your stove will go. I'm going to add about 2 ounces of grapeseed. I'm going to add a little bit of duck fat as well, just to give some variability in the fat application. About 2 teaspoons or so. As well as about 2 ounces of butter. There we go. So that's going to melt nicely and start to obviously get hot, and the water in the butter is going to start to react with the hot fat. And we want that. So once that happens, you're essentially going to listen, right? You're going to use your ears and listen for the silence that comes over the fat. And that means that the water is essentially cooked out of the hot fat, and it's hot enough to now sear that skin and start to render that turkey skin. As you can see, the fat and the water are starting to react together, and it's going to make a significant amount of noise and a little bit of a mess, but that's why you have a little wet towel just to wipe up as you go to keep tidy and clean, so you don't have too much cleaning at the end. And you really do want to listen now, right? This is going to start to get louder and louder and louder until all the water is cooked out of the fat. Okay? You should be noticing just the slightest amount of brown color starting to come out. That's just the toasting of the butter solids. And that is a great thing. You want that, but you don't want it to go too much, or else you won't be able to control where it goes. As you can see, it starts to get silent right about now. That means the fat is about 325 degrees, which is perfect temperature to start cooking and searing this turkey breast. And add it in very gently, but you don't want to just let it plop down because you don't want to splash that oil. I'm just going to let it and then go away from me towards the backsplash. Hence the name for the backsplash. And just let this sit for just a moment. As you can see, it's starting to brown pretty heavily around here. I'm just going to incorporate that to the rest of the fat. Okay, just let it go around just like that. Okay, and now I'm going to start my base. This is very gentle. You don't want to go too fast. The point is not to go fast. It is not to go quickly or to rush it. All you're trying to do with basting is control the temperature of the heat. Now it's your job to fold in cold air, essentially. Okay, and that's all the real process is. It's not about throwing it and flinging, because once you start to fling, you don't want to fling hot fat. Okay, that's gonna cause some damage to your fingertips and possibly to your body and anything standing on the outside of the stove. You want to just come in like catching a wave, come up, catch it, and then let it go away. All right, and that's what we're gonna try to do for most of the time. I'm gonna actually also turn down the heat just a tad to about medium heat, because it is fairly hot. Okay, let's see how we're looking here. Okay, we got a pretty decent color in it. It's gonna cook for about 20 minutes. 20-25 minutes. So it's gonna get significantly darker without us needing to do any sort of basting. I'm really focusing on the thicker end, as you can notice, not too much over here, just a bit to make it even, but you do want to basically focus on the thicker end of the turkey, okay? So I'm going to throw this in the oven for right now. Take a look at the skin, because why not? As you can see, it's quite luscious and brown, all right, already. Okay, and it's going to get quite rendered, okay, and a little bit more. Get a little closer. Always tidy up, right? As you're going, keep clean, and you won't end up with too much mess. Hi. You know, I'm really thankful for being able to even have a Thanksgiving. The fact that we can have 4, 6, or 8 people at a table instead of the usual, you know, large number amount flying in from out of town and going over. I think it's giving us a time to reflect on, you know, obviously what's important, what we're missing, but equally, you know, coming around over a good product. Sharing it with our family, something that's sustainably raised, something that's good for our bodies, something that we can all, you know, be convivial and feel generous around. And I think that's what I'm most thankful for. We've got the turkey roast in the oven. I'm gonna pull it out now. I think it's about done, and then we'll go for a nice about 5-6 minute rest. But before that, I did want to try to use the truffle butter, right? D'Artagnan truffle butter, white truffles. From Alba. I am going to actually drain out this remaining butter fat, okay? And I'm gonna add the truffle butter just to give it a little base at the end. All right, so I'm just gonna drain it out. And you can absolutely use this butter for another time, toast it on bread, you can cook anything with it. Got the white truffle butter from D'Artagnan, okay? I'm just gonna go about that much, about a good 2 tablespoons, maybe let's do 3 tablespoons, why not? Turn on the heat, lovely. Okay, as you can see, the skin perfectly beautiful. The truffle butter is starting to melt, and now we're going to let that just give it a little base just to finish it off. Okay, we're going to baste in the white truffle butter. All right, voila, complete. All right, now we've finished basting. Let's get it resting. Let's take it out. We've already basted it with truffle butter. Put it right here. Voila. Usually start from the thicker side, okay. Slightly on an angle, not too much, just a bit. Going with a few strokes. There you go, okay. Perfectly cooked, all right, all the way. The skin is rendered down, you see that? Okay, it should be infused with a little bit of that truffle butter, just a tad on the outside. You don't need much. The whole breast should be really juicy and lovely, all one color. With a nice contrast of the roasted, but this is bound to be a really, really lovely Thanksgiving. So let's get the rest of this slicing. Thank you so much for watching this demo. I hope you had a lovely time roasting this turkey breast. Happy holidays from the Mita family and from the D'Artagnan family. Happy holidays.